When we were younger, we would know Dad, especially if it was one of those very successful dads, they have to put up with more stuff. But thankfully, our group or whatever, which is a group of like millions of people, we have this thing, like this organization called the FBI and all these ones. We grew up, we went to school. Hey, I never got my diploma, but we knew about kids that never got their diplomas that went to school. And I was one of those kids that never ended up getting my diploma yet or what have you, or my GED yet. But I went to school for a long time, and I attended every class, and I got good grades. Like, especially in Tennessee, I got A's and A pluses, and I always maintained a C average, or sometimes I'd get a D, but very rarely was I a failure. I attended school and all that. Whereas some people were blatant out criminals, believe it or not, and they are not with that system. Such as that Mr. Herrera, he never even went to school. He was born without a mother and father. And he refugee state. He entered the country under refugee status. My dad would say refugee status. Okay, so we gave him, well, not me, but our government gave him the privilege. You know, I work under the government. You know, I'm a government person. I'm a citizen, ranked citizen under the government. They gave him this privilege of being a refugee. It's not a privilege that was given to me. In Canada, in the United States, and many other places, it's a free society. You can be the man in which you dream to be. It's called the American dream, the Canadian dream. You have Canadian rights and freedoms. We were known as a free nation. If you wanted to... In Canada, generally, if you were able to get, anybody can go for the anybody can go for a driver's license test. Anybody can go for the driver's license test and get it. You have to be, the qualifications are 18 and over. The qualifications are not, you have to be a certain name, a certain age, or a certain race or complexion. That's not the qualifications. That's our unbiasedism. We're a nation where, in the United States, where it doesn't matter which race, which name, which family you're from. You just had to be 18 or over. And then you could do this and do that or not do that under law. No, it's not a thing where somebody can intimidate me with their legal firearms that they bought at the gun shop, such as Phil Thompson, because we have the right to bear arms, and we have gun shops, right? Few and far none. There isn't that many nowadays, right? But there is a gun shop that you can find, right? Like there's one about 55 miles south of me where you can actually walk in and buy a gun. They got much more selection than this little gun dealer shop thing that this guy has set up, but no, generally in Canada and the United States nowadays, no. When people buy their legal firearms, it's for a self-defense or a home defense, sporting. And so it's not to go out and do murders or killings like a Phil Thompson, where he tried to do a crime of intimidation.
Are you looking to buy a gun? Or
because he bought the gun. I didn't have the gun, so he intimidated me that he has the gun, I don't have the gun, so I have to do illegal things to make him happy. Or, no, under law, that's intimidation. That's an old mafia law, what kids would think. But guess what? Adults are still trying these old little mafia crimes, right? That we thought were no longer around, that were just in the movies, that the police and the FBI and everything had under control. You have to report it. You have to do your justice, and you have to do it immediately, and you have to do it strategically without people hearing you. You have to get out and get yourself safe, get yourself to safety, and make sure and just continue to keep doing you and get into safety. And if that's the case, and that's what I had to do, and I've never been better. Now I own my legal firearm. I don't fear for my safety. I used to be so scared I would be shaking, drinking. I got so intimidated.